Swami Vivekananda Life and Teachings, Chapter 10. To America. Swami Vivekananda sailed from Bombay on 31st May 1893. The ship stopped at Ceylon, Singapore, Hong Kong, and other ports of China and Japan. Swamiji enjoyed the trip very much. The ship then sailed to Vancouver, Canada. Swamiji left Vancouver by train for Chicago. On the train, a rich, cultured lady named Miss Sanborn was impressed by his noble personality and her conversation with him. She said to Swamiji, "If you ever come to my home near Boston, I shall be happy to have you as my guest and introduce you to persons of learning and culture." Swamiji reached Chicago in the middle of July. It was a strange new world. He visited the Chicago World's Fair, where the Parliament of Religions was to be held. He was surprised to see all the exhibitions and scientific inventions. He marveled at the machinery, the industrial products, and the arts. After a few days, Swamiji went to the Information Bureau to find out about the Parliament of Religions. He was dismayed to learn that the Parliament would not open until September. Moreover, they told him that he could not accept as a delegate at the Parliament because he had no papers to show that he represented any group or sect. They also told him that the time for admission was already past. This news was a great blow. Worse still, he was fast running out of money. He had to wait almost 2 months for the parliament. But his money would soon be spent and then he would have to starve. Swamiji left Chicago and went to Miss Sanborn's place, which is near Boston. As he was told he could live there more cheaply than in Chicago, he also remembered Miss Sanborn's cordial invitation to visit her home. While in her home, he met Professor J.H. Wright of Harvard University. He had a long discussion with the professor and talked about many different subjects with him. Professor Wright recognized Swamiji's great scholarship and said that he should represent Hinduism at the Parliament of Religions. Swamiji told him that he had no official letter from any organization. The professor replied to ask you, Swamiji, for credentials is like asking the sun to state its right to shine. Okay. Professor Wright arranged everything for Swamiji. He wrote to the chairman of the Committee of the Parliament of Religions introducing Swamiji. In this letter, he said, "Here is a man who is more learned than all our learned professors put together." He also presented Swamiji with a ticket to Chicago. Swamiji was very happy to see how God's purpose was being fulfilled. When Swamiji reached Chicago, he found that he had lost the address of the committee. He did not know where to go. He was tired and finding no other place, he spent the night in a large empty box. In the morning, he began to walk along a street where rich people lived in the large houses, like a sannyasin. He began to beg for food from door to door, but he was treated rudely, and even the servants insulted him for begging and condemned in the West. Sorry, for begging is condemned in the West. He did not know what to do. At last, he decided just to wait for the will of God. If God has brought him to the West for some purpose, then he would look after him. So he sat down by the side of the street, determined to wait until something happened. Just then, the door of a nearby house opened and a lady came out. She went up to Swamiji and asked him, "Sir, are you a delegate to Parliament of Religions?" Sorry, it's delegate to the Parliament of Religions. Swamiji told her all about himself. The lady invited him into her home and instructed the servants to look after him. She saw that he had breakfast and then took him to the office of the parliament. Swamiji gave his letter of introduction and was gladly accepted as a delegate. The lady who helped him was Mrs. George W. Hale. She, her husband, and their children became close friends of Swamiji. This is it. So, thank you.